Okay, I want to talk about movies. We're in the after show now. We're going to be talking about random shit. I finally want to get to my thoughts about a movie I saw a few weeks ago called Hail Caesar, the Coen Brothers' new movie. I didn't know if you guys were going to see it, so I didn't want to talk about it too much, but it's been a few weeks now, so you'll see it eventually. Here's the thing that I really, it's not the greatest movie ever made, whatever. It's a really enjoyable Coen Brothers movie. I really liked it. It was hard to figure out what it was about from the trailers, like George Clooney gets kidnapped or something like that. I really liked the movie. It was kind of like a noir. Let me get into more of what was going on. It's not so much about George Clooney being kidnapped. It's more about Josh Brolin running this film studio and all the shit he has to go through to make sure that these movies get completed on time, that the publicity stays good for them, that the stars don't break their contracts, become drug addicted burnouts. He has to keep everything running.
Yeah.
And what I found really interesting about this movie is, I'm on YouTube a lot. I do a lot of editing, and while I'm editing, I just put on YouTube videos, and I always try to find weird documentaries. And when you're on YouTube and you go down the weird documentary rabbit hole, sometimes you find very fringe stuff. And recently I was watching this stuff about, like, what's going on in Hollywood. There's secret people who control Hollywood that you don't know about. And, Dave Chappelle talked about this kind of stuff on Inside the Actors Studio. And he talks about, like, why is Martin Lawrence running around with a gun saying they're trying to kill me? Why is Mariah Carey doing all this stuff on TRL going crazy? There's hitmen in Hollywood trying to kill stars and all this weird stuff.
Britney shaved her head.
Why has Britney shaved her head? And I felt like maybe Hail Caesar kind of hints at some of that stuff.
Oh, really?
Not overly, but there's moments in the movie where the character, this studio head, has to, like, bend the laws, break the laws a little bit, and also, like, kind of control the lives of his movie stars. He sets them up on dates. He kind of controls who they marry, who they're seen with. And that's all I thought. I thought that was a really interesting layer to that movie, because I'm always watching crazy conspiracy theory stuff on YouTube.
Right.
Maybe that's pervaded my mind a little bit, and I'm seeing stuff that isn't there. That happens when you watch too many YouTube videos. But it definitely added this extra layer of intrigue to me about Hail Caesar, and I didn't really see anybody else drawing that connection or, whatever, reading into that kind of stuff. But I did, and I thought it was an interesting layer to that movie.
I will check that out.
That sounds like I want to see it more now.
Yeah, that's what I said. I didn't want to spoil anything about Hail Caesar, but there was this layer to it that I felt like wasn't being talked about, wasn't being advertised.
Right.
But I saw it.
Cool.
I thought it was a really, really interesting movie, and it's kind of like a comedy noir, a little bit.
I want to go see that while it's still in theaters.
Yeah.
It is still in
Yeah,
theaters.
it's still in theaters. It's been out for like a month.